is going to be a basic kind of rundown of the guitar techniques and kind of how I write riffs and solos. So just the basic techniques. You got a lot of tremolo picking, palm muting, I learned on a lot of Metallica, so I do a lot of creeping death type stuff. Then a lot of hammer-on pull-offy stuff, a lot of Megadeth type stuff. As for actually writing riffs, I have a couple go-to techniques. First off is just the tremolo picked melody type thing. You know, I don't really do a lot of scales. I don't know what this kind of thing is called. What chromatic, I guess. Do a lot of that. Sometimes I add this little extra note to make it sound a little more kind of fancy. That kind of thing. You just repeat that a bunch, put some drums over it, it sounds cool. Then you got your basic kind of power chordy stuff. It's really bad. Then kind of have these inverted power chords I'd like to do. That comes from Megadeth again, kind of like Holy Wars. Like a lot of that stuff. Now, some examples of stuff I've actually written, or just kind of stuff that I would write. If I want to go for a really grindy type thing, I'm doing some sort of grindcore, gore grind type track, you do a lot of fast power chords. Just switch between them really fast. It gives a really cool chaotic effect. Or you can do some just single note basic stuff. Or you can go for some sort of like complete chaos type approach, like that kind of thing. If I want something a little more thrashy, you know, do some galloping type stuff. Kind of basic influences. Then of course you got just some black metal-y type stuff. If you're playing normal music, you're doing a lot of normal power chords. Black metal, just invert them. Or you can play up here. Doing a lot of like tritone dissonance-y stuff like that. And trills. Trills is another very important thing to my sound. I do a lot that comes from a lot of bands too. Now solos, you know, everybody's favorite part. Of course, playing fast is one thing, getting that good. Really fast picking. And as for scales, I'm doing a lot of pentatonic stuff. A lot of whammy bar tricks, you know, you got your regular, your squeals and your make it sound really low or do some crazy stuff. That's a technique that Rick Ross, formerly of Death, I think he plays in Massacre. He used to play in Massacre, at least. He does this really fast trill, and he kind of just presses the whammy bar up and down. Sounds kind of cool. As for me though, I'm using a lot of these same kind of scales. I have a couple basic licks I go to a lot of. That's just and of course bending. A lot of what makes a solo cool is the contrast between these low, kind of more bassy notes that blend in with the guitar. You can have a guitar going like, and then the solo can kind of start building off of these lower notes like this. And I can kind of go down here. Some crazy stuff like that. You know, there's a lot of licks that I steal, a lot of classic kind of Iron Maiden-y, Metallica East type stuff. Even a little a lot of Marty Friedman type stuff. You know, even some Chris Polandy type legato nonsense. And yeah, other than that, that's kind of all I do. I'm sure there's more to it than that, so I'm just gonna close off with just